What's good, YouTube land? It's Dinobot time! Yay! So, I guess we have to talk about his box first. It's a box. It looks cool. There are pictures on it. He's still a Predacon in this version, for some reason. Even though he spent way more time as a Maximal. But, nonetheless, they had to put more Predacons on the line. So, that's what they've gone for. I'm not going to throw it. But, here is Dinobot in his Raptor Mode. And I could go on and on about Dinobot's character. Obviously. I mean, he's very important to the show. Suffice it to say. There's too much to go into. How much time do you have? I'm not going to go into everything, but basically, he's very close to, I'd say, kind of a samurai-esque, like warrior, very obsessed with honor. But there's also apparently a layer of, as I've read on TF Wiki, him wanting to know if his fate was predetermined or not, which is apparently why he helped Megatron to begin with, because he wanted to see if what he did affected his fate at all, or something to that, something along the lines of that. And he's also potentially eaten a clone of himself, sacrificed his life to destroy the main MacGuffin, the golden disc, was sort of brought back as a Transmetal 2 clone, another clone. And that clone died in the end. I think one of the things Dinobot's most known for, besides his awesome voice, is his bromance / heated rivalry with Rat Trap. Like them just arguing all the time, threatening to threatening to kill each other is honestly one of the best parts of the show. If you go back and watch. So I guess we can keep going. He abandoned the Predacons because he felt he should have been the leader instead of Megatron, but he failed to dethrone Megatron. So he went and joined the Maximals and tried to become the leader of the Maximals by defeating Optimus Primal in combat, but his honor got in the way and he couldn't just win. He couldn't just win in a way that was essentially cheating or dishonorable, so he ended up losing and being probably, after Rhinox, I'd say, one of the one of the higher up members of the Maximals. So after that long wind, we actually have a toy to look at. And unfortunately, his Raptor Mode is quite flawed. One flaw it doesn't have, though, is fragility. It is incredibly solid. Like, it's not separating. Nothing's going to fall off. Nothing feels like it's going to shake itself loose. But, yeah. The big elephant in the room, who's not a Transformer, because they did not make... Did they make... They must have made an elephant in, the fusers. They had to have used an elephant at some point. The closest my mind comes to is Big Convoy, but he was a mammoth, mastodon, whatever thing. So, I don't know. But yeah, there's tons of kibble, unfortunately. The legs, admittedly from the front, is probably the best angle to look at him, because all you see are his robot hips. But everything else, it looks nice from like the top third, and then down it's just aw. Because I really want to I want to love this Raptor mode, but unfortunately it's not quite up there compared to some of the people who are right here. But yeah, let's look at what we do have. Unfortunately, all you can look at is really kibble, because those are pieces of his chest plate on his hips. This kind of saddlebags. Is the paint job 100% screen accurate? I'm not sure. I don't think so, because I've seen people repaint it to make it more show accurate. So he does, unfortunately, look very derpy. Actually, you know why? I know why. Because this isn't based off a Jurassic Park Raptor. That's exactly what this. Even the original, I believe, was based off the Jurassic Park Raptor, but this is full on clever girl. Although I think he would eat me if I actually said that. So, but unfortunately, due to the posability, his hands can't go. His hands can't be forward. They're always going to be at that angle. And yeah, hilariously, he's got his own feet as his ass. So, if you ever heard the phrase, I'll stick my foot up your ass, Dinobot has literally stuck his own feet up his ass. And spoiler alert for transformation, his head is right there. So he also has his head up his own ass. I don't even need to make jokes. The toy is making the jokes for me. If we come all the way to the tail, unfortunately, I get why this had to be, because the sword is hidden in his tail. But it looks like the tip of his tail, has had his skin peeled off. Good luck trying to sleep with that thought in your mind. But what else? I like the texture and the paint, the molding. It looks nice. But besides that, the solidity, you could throw it and nail somebody, but this Raptor mode is, I'm going to say 5 to 6. 6.5. The most I'll give it is 6.5, just because it's Dinobot. Which I still feel like is an awkward name, given there's a whole team of in G1 called the Dinobots. Just calling this guy Dinobot, I don't know, it feels like they're it feels along the same lines of G1 Inferno and Beast Wars Inferno, where you're trying to capitalize off of G1 characters for the sake of it. But the freaking the Dinobots are some of the most iconic G1 characters to people who watch G1. So it still feels awkward because you're trying to name one character based off a whole team, but that's besides the point. We're not here to talk semantics, we're here to talk toys. And we have a lot of size comparisons to get to, and I'm going to do that now before we do the articulation of this mode. So let's do a big one. Let's do Megatron. Very nice. Come on. Black Arachnia. And I'm only doing Kingdom comparisons. If you want me to compare them to my whole Beast Wars collection, we'll be here all fucking day. Even at this... Sorry. Yes, Lion. Yes. His forever nemesis, Rat Trap. I can't help but think of the hilarity of Dinobot in robot mode riding Transmetal Rat Trap later on in the season. Optimus Primal. There we go. Let's do Cheetor. Uh, Forgettable Air Razor. Because, admittedly, that whole stuff about her character in her review, I was just reading off TF Wiki. Honestly, Air Razor is unfortunately kind of forgettable. Paleotrex. A different raptor. We have low vertebrae. And last up, we have probably my favorite toy of this line. If I had to do a top 10 right now, Rack Tonight. So, their size comparisons. I do Rhinox, but we're getting a Rhinox in Wave 3 out in June, which I plan to pre-order as soon as I can, pretty much. Him, Scorponok, Trax. Oh, I never even mentioned like in my talk about Kingdom Wave 3, Shattered Glass Blur, which is a really nice another chance to get that Blur mold. And it really makes me want to pick up the Shattered Glass Optimus Prime and Ratchet set. But okay, so I guess I was putting it off a bit. Let's talk about posability on this Raptor mode. It is unfortunately kind of weak. His head, I wish it had a ball joint. All it has is a hinge. And that's really disappointing because I really want this Raptor head to just emote the hell out of it. Like, it's a very deep hinge, and it gives you a very wide mouth, about that far, but not quite. Ah, he's got a painted tongue. It's not. It's big enough so we can gag. I'm like, you know what? I don't really need to do Jobby the Hong style jokes like that. So yeah, I wish it could move side to side and emote a lot, but unfortunately, that is all the posability. Even in the neck can't move. The arms, though, are on hinges and universal joints, so they can go all the way around, in and out. They've got a hinge at the elbow and a ball joint at the wrist. So one of my favorite Dinobot poses is just to put his hands like that. It's very simple, but it kind of does a little bit to make up for the kind of ridiculous hand placement. And there have already been people have made like 3D printed new hands that A, fit in the transformation, and B, work better and look better. So there are options if you don't like these hands. The hips, this is more for transformation, but they can stretch all the way out if you want to reveal even more robot kibble and have him take a piss, I guess. And they can't swing, they can only move out that far. He does have forward and backward knee bend and a bit of swivel here, but that's more for the robot mode. And he also has an ankle joint with a swivel. And he has toe hinges. but they're also predominantly for the robot mode, because, spoiler alert, these are the robot mode arms and hands. And the tail, nothing. You can remove it because it's parts forming for the transformation, but if you just remove it slightly, you can get it to spin. If you open it, again, I'm spoiling transformation, but you can make his ass spin. There's a joke in there somewhere, but you can, and then you can spin it off. So, Raptor Mode. Oh, and one tiny other nitpick that's slightly more. These hip chunks very much like to come unpegged. It is highly unfortunate. They barely peg together, and it's kind of annoying. The only part on the toy I would slightly like, the rest of him is solid. These parts are kind of annoyingly like, don't like to peg together. But I can't hate this Dino mode. I still think he's dynamite, but he's got quite a few flaws, unfortunately. But let's swiftly transition to transformation. Or actually, something I want to highlight. I want to give a shout out / show of this video. You can look at search the title right there, Feather Dinobot. I came across this randomly one day on YouTube, and I just wanted to show it off because I guess this is supposed to be. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be a more accurate, biologically accurate Dinobot. And also, hand-done animation.
But is it an improvement?
I don't know if the voice is from clip from the show, but I just found this really funny, so I wanted to show it off. I'm just gonna let it play till it's done.
Well, I suppose it is. All right.
Like, I think it's really well done. Like if I'm probably gonna check if this person's done more of this kind of thing. Because look at that hand-done animation. That also looks very painful. So if the name is Vra No, right up. Damn it. I'm tempted to flip my camera. I can't point at the name. It's right here, right in this corner. Right there. So, just wanted to highlight that video. Just because I thought it was really cool. And it fit for this review. So, yeah, I have a lot of toys to transform for size comparison. So, we will cut to a commercial. Is what I would say if I could actually put an ad right here. Or if I had any sponsors. Oh well. We'll be right back after these messages.
In a world full of clickbait, tired memes, and millions of people doing silly things on camera to try and get famous, one big fluffy yellow fella is here to not help at all. His name is A. Spade the Pikachu. Joining him, Oshawott Noir, Anthro Score Bunny, Anthro Eevee, and that weird collector, whose own channel is linked in the description. Together, they'll bring you Let's Plays, movie review vlogs, animations, comic dubs, and screwing around with lightsabers and other props in front of a blue screen. So if that sounds like your thing, click that subscribe button and follow this big furry dork over on Weasel and Fur Affinity to see his enormous gallery of fan art. If you dare.
I forgot to play the Beast Wars intro, so we're going to do that now. I'm tempted to give you the full minute, but demonetize this, YouTube! Ha! You can't. There we go. That's enough of that. Now, we have to transform Dinobot. And I also forgot his card. Conveniently of himself. This one's the exact same. There's supposed to be 4 different possibilities for the card, yet I've only gotten 2 of them for Dinobot, 2 of them for Optimus Prime. I think I got 1 card of the Ark and 1 of Megatron. He's sitting... Ah, yes. So many. I wish they were just character cards. I'm gonna be, if I was 100% honest. Like, I like the idea of the sticker, but I wish they were just character cards for each character. Okay, transformation. Where to begin? Easiest part to start, fold the head down. And the hands are going to tab into the forearm right here. Like that. And like that. You can remove the tail. Oh no, parts forming. You don't have to remove the tail. You can transform perfectly fine with the tail on. So first thing, I guess next thing is spread his legs. Oh my. And the feet are going to unpeg from their little holding place and straighten out. Straighten the foot. Close that panel. Flip out his little heel spur. And do the same thing. These little pegs in the beast mode peg in somewhere up there. It's just look at that, just that mess there. Oh, I wanted to do the Dinobot Maxim correction. He's still a Predacon at this point. Dinobot Terrorize! Since I haven't done it, I forgot to do those for Air Razor and Rack tonight. So now you're going to rotate the waist after you did the same thing on the other leg. And this is a lot of stuff sort of happening. So this folds up. This piece folds down. The head folds down. And this panel comes over like that and is going to peg in to the back of the dino head. So if you're going back into beast mode, basically you do this, you cover that. This section plugs in right here. So basically unplug, fold up, fold down, plug into place, This section is going to clamp over that. This section is going to peg into the back. There are slots in his spine right there. Right there. So it's going to plug in like that. Retab head back in. So then you're going to want to fold up his arm at the shoulder. Shoulder. At that joint right there. You can do it on both sides if you want. Reach for the sky. And then you're going to want to take this panel and fold it out and fold it down. So keep that up. So this is going to plug into the dino head, sort of. It's going to just rest there, really. There's no actual place it like locks in securely. What does lock it in securely is one of the beast mode legs. It folds in right there, and there's a slot on the front of the hand that this part tabs into right there. So that keeps the chest panel nice and secure. Then you can fold this down, rotate it so it's its best position, fold the arm down, rotate the wrist, and curl in his hand to actually form a hand. So you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Fold. Oh, God. Close. Rotate up. Peg in. Down. Swivel. Down. And swivel. And there you have Dinobot in his robot mode. And I really like the robot mode. I think the robot mode turned out pretty well. That transformation, though, I mean, honestly, I want to show this. This is Dinobot. This is what you have for source material, okay? Look what we have to compare it to.
Dinobot.
Look at this. Like, what is even happening there?
Maximize.
Excuse me. I kind of want to show that again. Like, look. How are you supposed to emulate that in plastic? Like, what is even happening there? Anyway. So no matter what, they were given quite a heavy task. And is this perfect? No, arguably. It leaves quite a bit of back kibble. There's some bits of the robot that aren't as accurate, like cartoon accurate, but yeah. We have what we have. This is the best they could do for $30. Mind you. It's not a masterpiece. If you want to spend $300+ for the masterpiece, absolutely. You will get something that's as close to screen accuracy as possible. And that toy, from what I've seen, if I had to pick a holy grail, either him or masterpiece, that guy. Those two are masterpiece toys. Well, any of the Beast Wars masterpieces I want, those two are probably up top there. Optimus Primal, Cheetor, Black Arachnia is... I've never even messed with them, and just based off Black Arachnia's beast mode, she's unfortunately the weakest one, but still. Tigatron, though. So, here we go. With a Dinobot in robot mode. And arguably, that head is just fucking amazing. It's so accurate. It's perfect. It's a masterpiece, you could argue. because as I've heard, this may or may not be true. It may actually be a straight downscaling and gimmick removed of the Masterpiece Dinobot head sculpt, because it doesn't have the light piping, it doesn't have the articulated mouth or the removable faces. It's honestly perfect. Like this is this is definitely the best and most accurate Dinobot head sculpt in a mainline Transformers release. Not Masterpiece, obviously, but I mean, not the Masterpiece. You know what I mean. In the mainline, on the shelf, Masterpieces are not sold on the shelf. If there was a store, actually, I could plug the Robot Scrapyard. Again, that probably has or had a Masterpiece Dinobot at one point that I would love to go and check out, but since I don't have a proper mode of transportation to go there, I can't. Although I'll shout it out as many times as I can, just because, mostly because we're somewhat pals. At least we've hung out and chatted about Transformers, so that at least constitutes as pals in my head. Let's check out the rest of the robot mode. Yeah, of course, I'm going to go there first. Yes, I know, I'm making dick jokes in my head too. He's freaking. He's got a spiral dick. On the front of it, it's just, it's. Is that even accurate? I don't even want to look it up. It's just hilarious. Again, this toy's writing the jokes for me. I don't even have to. I don't have to make the jokes. You're already thinking of it. But I'm not going to comment on show accuracy because it's been so long. I could post I could put a picture right here of Dinobot and say, "Hey, look, what's not accurate." But I want to just show like the toy on its own, and on its own, it's very good in robot mode. Again, solid. I don't even need to go into how great the plastic is in this line for the millionth time. It is very clean. There's only that amount of backpack. That's really the only beast mode kibble, unfortunately. Or fortunately, that's there. Like, do I wish his chest had a bit more blue? Yes, because the blue just stops there, unfortunately. But besides painting the beast forearms blue and the back paint, like, for what it is, I couldn't actually expect them to put more blue on it because it would honestly kind of ruin the other mode. So I understand why they had to limit it. So as opposed to the beast mode, which had kind of lacking articulation, this guy is in robot mode absolutely not lacking articulation. So his head is on a ball joint. Very, very nice range of motion. Can look up that far, can look down that far. Every ball joint is a swivel. Can tilt that much. Lots of personality. I absolutely like. It's so good. There's not even a huge cut in the back of his neck to make it look horrible. I couldn't ask for a better articulated neck. What's also interesting to me, no faction symbol. No Predacon symbol, no Maximal symbol. Even the 06, 07 Henkei Classics Universe Dinobot had a cool gimmick where he was a flipping chest symbol on his beast head. So it was like right here, and you could flip it between Maximal and Predacon. This guy, showing no allegiance whatsoever. Is that more show accurate? Possibly. Is that what they were going for? I guess. Also, what we were talking about, posability, right? Shoulders on a mushroom peg, and a transformation joint that lets them go Oh, you can go, why? Why am I doing this? You can even dance a little bit. I guess he can go M? It's the most awkward M I've ever seen. Hold on. I'll get there. A. A. Ah, god damn it. Never mind. Let's just YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Hinge, obviously. Pin disc right here. Mushroom peg at the bicep swivel. Double hinge. Well, actually, single joint that has enough range to go back and forth all the way. 90 degrees both ways. They're just about, yeah. I'd call that actually, I'd call forward 90 degrees. Backwards about 89 degrees. Wrist swivel. Hand opens all the way, obviously. We've seen that in the Beast mode. What's new? I think he has a ball-jointed waist. Because there's a little bit of give like this. Like he's rocking as if it were a ball joint. But it doesn't feel loose. It just... I can't tell what kind of joint it is. Obviously, you get a full waist swivel. Because it's part and parcel of his transformation. But like, that wobble, is that a ball joint? I can't tell. He gets a tiny bit of side to side. Very negligible forward and backward. I can't tell. It's honestly stumped me since the couple days I've had this guy. Obviously, we can talk about the dick on his crotch, but hips all the way forward. Unfortunately, not really much backward motion. You only get that much just due to how how his ass has to look, because it becomes the robot throat, basically, or not his throat, right? His chest, essentially. All kinds of beautiful spread. So much beautiful spread. You can even fondle his thigh swivel. It's on an angle, so it's not perfectly straight, but you do get full 360 motion. Knee joints, that much bend. You even have to bend it a bit forward for transformation. And you do get an ankle pivot. And a tiny bit of forward and back, but mostly back motion. One weird thing is this one is solid, but this one kind of, unfortunately, is a bit weaker. It's not weak enough to actually like fall down manually, and it will support him in poses. But it's just odd that like the slightest amount of pressure, it'll start going. Up until that point where it just stops, and then you have to. It sort of does it sort of locks there, and you kind of keep pressing it forward. But overall, very nice. All right, we'll talk accessory now, since it's been in his on his back this whole time. He does get his iconic combo of really weird spinning tail shield and spinning sword. So you have to remove his tail, obviously. It's on a special connection. It's not a straight. It's not just a peg. It has a little bit of a thing, so it's only goes in one way, and it's not really compatible with things that aren't Dinobot. I put Dinobot down here, and he's standing up. standing right on his heels. Okay. So, split open the tail, both sections, and remove the sword, and there you go. So now we have to open his hands and the sword. Here's something I don't get. The color of the sword. It's purple. Now, this is a problem that also has plagued the Masterpiece version of Dinobot. His sword being a more metallic pink. Now, Jobby, bless him, love to do a collaboration at some point, but he thinks that it was in reference to, I can't remember the name of the episode, but there is an episode where Dinobot's like standing in front of the sun, and the sun's rays are making the sword look pink. So maybe it's an homage to that episode, because I think his sword is normally supposed to be silver. But anyway, that's kind of one really weird thing. But you also can plug his shield into his other hand. And this one I keep open for reasons we'll see in a second. I do wish the tail had a bit of paint to pick it out, the inside, because in the show model, it's kind of red inside, as if it has some of his flesh left in it, which that's creepy to think about. And his sword, while it doesn't look like it actually has a blade, it works in the show. It actually spins, like it currently constantly twists, which is, I guess, how it cuts things. I really need to get the complete box set DVD to rewatch Beast Wars. I really want to do that at some point. Beast Machines I'm not concerned about, but definitely Beast Wars. And also, his shield spins, so due to the peg connection in his hand, you can actually recreate that effect. It's not going to come unpegged. It's designed specifically for that. You can just spin it. The Masterpiece had a button spinning gimmick, which couldn't build up any friction, but here, you just got to do it manually. And you can also shove the sword, if you wanted to, back in and have it keep spinning. So I guess this is an attack you can do or something. If you were like an anime protagonist and he shouted his attack names, he could he could do that. What's interesting is his hand ports are not regular circles. They're six-sided, not an octagon, hexagon. They're hexagons. But yeah, he looks very nice, in my opinion, with the weapons. And even mention, I just wanted to give a good shot of all the detail that was revealed in his robot mode, like those lines, the texture on his thighs. Like, it looks really good. Like, he looks really good. And speaking of looks, comparison time. So, here he is next to Megatron. Try and line them up. There you go. Megatron. Blacker. I can't even say her name wrong. Black Arachnia. I'm trying to do it for a meme, but Black Arachnia. I completely forgot about little. Damn. I transformed everyone except Vertebrake. I'm sorry. Sorry to Vertebrake. Because how dare I leave her out? Come on. The transformation done. There. Little Queen Vertebrake. who's getting a repaint, a maximal repaint in like obnoxious lime green, which is neon green. Cheetor. His old best friend Rat Trap. Nice to have Chopper face. There you go. Paleotrax. Rack Tonight. Eraser. And finally, big old boss bot himself, Optimus Primal. Is this in scale? Maybe. Does it look awesome? Absolutely. So, you're damn right I recommend Chopper Face here. He's obviously the best non-masterpiece version of Dinobot we've ever gotten. And also, it's just Dinobot. How can you not want Dinobot if you're a fan of the show? Easily one of the best. Like, easily one of the best characters. And also character growth in all of the 3 seasons of Beast Wars. Granted, he wasn't alive the whole time, but that's unfortunate. Now, he doesn't come with a golden disc to break. No. The golden disc comes with Titan class Ark. They literally made a transformer out of the Ark. The ship the Autobots crashed in on Earth. That appears in Transformer in Beast Wars in season 3 when like the 2 factions are fighting over Prime Spark, all that season 3 stuff. Yeah, they gave that ship a robot mode and are releasing it with a sidekick and giving him a golden disc accessory. I think it's Titan class. It's basically Omega Supreme, the size of, if you remember my Omega Supreme review, who's sitting right here next to my computer. Basically, hold on. Basically this size. They're releasing... Yeah, I haven't gotten Scorponok. I want to get Scorponok, but I know I'm definitely going to get the Ark at some point. But he's going to be basically this size. And I have no idea where I'm going to put him. Okay, that's enough of you, Mr. Supreme. So, goddamn. So yes, I absolutely recommend Dinobot. I don't think there was a way. This guy would have had to suck horribly for me to not recommend him. The alt mode's not great, unfortunately. The alt mode is his biggest hindrance, but it's still the mode I'm going to keep him in on the shelf because I keep 99% of my Beast Wars figures in their beast modes. Because, you know, storyline and raw energon and all that. I think the only one I have in robot mode is Power of the Primes Optimal Optimus, because I've previously mentioned still have the original Optimal Optimus toy sitting in his beast mode. So, also, well, thank you for watching. I do want to mention one thing I've been thinking about. I'm thinking about, well, not thinking about, I'm probably actually going to do it, is Patreon rewards. Like, I've heard about them. I'm trying to figure out how they work. But I want to make rewards basically live stream on my Twitch, link in the description, live stream toy reviews. So I have a couple toys I haven't reviewed. Earth Earthrise Skylinks, the Power of the Primes, Predaking. I want to make those reviews basically reward tiers on Patreon. So if we get a certain rank, I will review them like live on Twitch and then upload those videos to Patreon as like Patreon exclusive, and future things I haven't thought of yet. But yeah, let me know what you think of that idea. And also pick up a Dinobot, and I'm not going to pick him up, but buy the Transformers comic. IDW. I'm giving you tons of free press. Hook a brother up. God, I sound so white saying that. Do I have a dinosaur themed pun for the end? Keep it paleotastic. God, that was horrible. Whatever. Bye.